Welcome to the next episode of Let's Print. It's been some time since the last time we did this podcast. So today Erebos and I sat together because the market is shifting. And we thought, okay, right now would be a good time to talk about our views and let's directly get into it. So Erebos, first of all, how's life over the last couple of months? How did you live through the bloodbath we had in crypto?
Oof. Well, I got a bit lucky because I decided to check out for a few months. In the end, starting in March, I stopped working every day on crypto. Bought a house, as you can see, crazy. Um, so yeah, working out, etc. So for me, it's been very busy outside of crypto, and it's also extremely nice to, separate the two. Because for a lot of us, crypto is our identity, and
Yeah.
when it's nuking or boring, you feel like shit. So for me, I was for once feeling like there is more in life than crypto. So no, honestly, for me, life is sweet. The market has been very difficult to approach. And when it was starting to look good last week, now it's nuking again. So fuck it. What about
Yeah.
you?
For me, like I was shifting into majors some time ago because I was
Mm,
like saying, okay, this market is like I had to combine business and handling the business and also like doing proper portfolio management. And I just looked at everything. I saw some meme coins going through the roof, but I basically said, okay, fuck all of that. I just go into majors, chill my boat, and basically do nothing. Um, till recently, because I slowly see opportunities opening up in crypto again. Um, so for me, the past couple of months were mainly focused on business, some trips. We can also talk about some of the trips if you want to.
yep.
So a bit of that, and besides life, my girlfriend is actually a couple of weeks before her very important exam because she's studying medicine. So I also took some time for the relationship. Yeah. So also stuff outside of crypto, even if my business is like highly correlated with it, but a lot of learnings outside of crypto, business wise. And when it comes to coins, I just stayed in majors and slowly start looking at altcoins again.
Sweet. No, that's a yeah, healthy plan.
Yeah, definitely. So we sat together because we said the market is shifting. We actually haven't talked a lot about our opinion why that is. We just said like I think it was 3 days ago or something like that. Okay, I think or we thought it's time again to do this podcast. So what is your opinion on why the market is shifting, or do you still have that opinion because you said that to me a couple of days ago?
Yeah. Let me try to screen share
All
if
right.
I can. Okay, I think it should be working now.
Yeah.
So, well, it's been such a crazy summer because, especially for hodlers, because if you look at it, I mean, it's just been ping pong between 70 and 50-ish.
Yeah.
And yeah, lately it felt different. This leg from like September 7th. So basically the last leg from 53 to 67 felt a bit different. It looked like that was it. We were gonna like trend for real. And then we get hit by like another war like headline. And since I'm not a like geopolitics expert, I don't know exactly, but to me it feels like a bit of a like stupid reason to go down. I mean, it's been happening a lot. Anyways, but yeah, to me it's just I agree with a lot of people on crypto Twitter that say that this is the last dip you can buy before it goes up for real.
Yeah.
Um, I mean, so yeah, it's always tricky to um, decide. Definitely, that range is bullish in the long term, but it's true that we have to move at some point. I believe it's soon because we can talk about macro later. But so yeah, like rate cuts, elections, all that, it's quite positive. I'm personally bullish, and yeah, thinking I don't know, we can go to 100K in the next few months. Now the question is, how much time does it take us, and do we have to go through more pain in the short term? I think it's just noise what's going on right now, basically. And yeah, just waiting. I mean, right now I'm fully deployed. I want to add a bit of, of leverage just to speculate, but I don't know. It's just bleeding for like a few days. So yeah, we have to see. I think it's not gonna go much lower, but you never know. Crypto could just rug us to 50 again. It's a mess.
Yeah.
But yeah, the logic is just we just wait. We just wait a bit more. It's been 6 months. We can wait like a bit more,
Yeah.
and we'll see what goes on. But overall, it's looking healthy, and to me, the wind is shifting. Now it's true that something could break that rhythm with Israel and all that bullshit. We'll see. I don't know if you have a different view on that.
No, actually, I also looked at the chart in a similar way. It's such a long sideways chart. So we basically didn't do anything for. When did that like sideways phase start? Like it
It was
was
March, around
March.
March. Yeah.
So long, and this, and I looked at this out of this perspective. Like people so went very bearish over the past couple of months, and a lot of them, including me, shifted into majors. And if you look at the Bitcoin dominance chart, you also see that like it's I don't know where it is currently, but it's pretty high compared like to the normal way how the bull ones like usually go. So at this point, so for me, I personally think that because we are very over allocated, in my opinion, in majors, that the altcoin market could rally very hard. But as you said, like depending on what the unemployment rate is going to be tomorrow, I think we could see some more short-term pain. The crypto market in general, in my opinion, is very emotional right now, and like everything is seen as bearish. Like you have the start of the war, which usually didn't impact crypto or at least Bitcoin very badly. Like you had all of these wars happening, but Bitcoin pretty much didn't like wasn't very highly correlated to it. So I would say the short-term bearishness will get replaced at one point. I don't know what it's gonna be, but I think that like as soon as the economical indicators are looking better and people feeling more confident in the overall economy, crypto's set for massive bull run, or at least massive last leg of the bull run. And I personally think that the altcoin rally that we are waiting for for so long already is actually gonna start, because a lot of people will start to shift their interest from majors to altcoins. So this is also one of the reasons why I'm looking at altcoins quite a lot. And also I heard that on the Empire podcast. I don't know who it said, but basically I think it was Santi. He basically mentioned like that the development is continuing, and you have like I looked at the stats. The amount of full-time developers right now in the crypto space is at a peak, and at an all-time high basically. So the fundamentals are continue to improve, and the market continues to stay bearish. So I think the fundamentals are improving. Short-term bearishness is continuing till some like major economic indicator continues to stay positive. Maybe we maybe see some more interest rate cuts, and I think then we are set for huge move upwards.
Yeah, that's the spirit. especially because of like rate cuts.
Yeah.
I mean, we are very like newbie in that
Yeah,
sense.
exactly.
Like,
Yeah.
we all understand that they cut rates, it's
Yeah.
gonna create a stimulus for like liquidity and just financial conditions get better. So that should push everything up. Also, I read something about this time being very different in a way because all the central banks are easing at the same
Yeah.
time, more or less like China and Europe, US. So it's going to put a lot of pressure on markets that are already quite high. But yeah, we should get into some pretty, I mean, people say banana zone and all that, and it's kind of true. Like the valuations, everything is going to crazy levels, currency debasement. I mean, so yeah, like things like Bitcoin and gold, and they have more and more value over time just because just debt is
Yeah.
growing and growing and growing. So, and also if Trump wins, we all pray that it's gonna be the case because well, it's gonna push the market even more, and also just from a like a pro crypto stance.
Yeah.
So yeah, and honestly, it's looking very good. Also, the fact that we've been shopping for 6 months. So when we finally break out, it should be quite explosive.
Yeah.
I mean, I talked about it personally. I don't expect us to go very high, but if we get Trump, a lot of rate cuts, we can push like to, I don't know, 150K, maybe a bit higher. So we'll see. We'll see. It's true, it feels different. This cycle feels different because
Yeah.
to me, from my experience, I mean, I only have one bull market before that. It was just up only. We had very little time to like just get bored. And this time it's kind of we had this pause in between. But yeah, it's looking pretty good, honestly. Just now we can suffer from like war fear.
Yeah, I think this time like crypto in general is much more like correlated to
Mm,
real world events. I
yeah,
think also because you have like more investors from the institutional side.
exactly. Yeah,
So
ETF now it's becoming real. It's legit.
yeah, you don't have Sam Bankman-Fried pushing all your shitcoins through Alameda investments. So I think you still have that by the way. But let's talk about that in a different episode. But yeah, I also think like what what makes this cycle different than the last are like the the outlook on more regulations in crypto. Um, I think it doesn't really matter, and this is a bold statement. It doesn't really matter who wins. I think in the mid to long term, we will see some positive regulations for crypto. I saw like a statistic, I think 38% or so of the US people who can vote actually hold crypto.
That's
Um,
insane, man. That's insane.
uh, I
That's a
was
lot.
it's such a high number. I haven't thought that it would be that high. There were like some reports from Coinbase and other like big exchanges. So I think no matter who's gonna win, it will be positive mid to long term for crypto. But I think Trump could be like the one short term indicator which kicks off like a crazy alt season. For if Harris wins, I don't know. Like it could be seen as bearish, and if you look at the sentiment right now, how people currently are reacting to news, um, I think people will see that as a very bearish um, event, which will dump the prices even more.
Indeed.
Yeah, so, but I don't think like that it will change anything long term. So
Totally agreed. Yeah. It's Trump is just full
full
send.
send.
Also very liberal. I mean, he's gonna pass laws. I mean, he's a businessman, so he wants like markets to operate
Yeah,
normally. Like the Biden side, I mean, I don't even know, like what's like Democrats,
yeah,
they are a bit different. I mean, they are a little bit crazier. But I
yeah,
guess also, as you said, like crypto now matters a lot. We saw that with like they try to win the vote over by saying, "Oh yeah, we're gonna create. We love
yeah,
crypto." Even Harris was like trying to to be friendly with for us.
Yeah.
But yeah, who knows if it's actually bullshitting or if they care a lot. I mean, Trump has been showing real signs of interest.
Yeah.
Anyways,
And also, like, a lot of people who fund Trump's campaign are funding it in crypto. So I
mhm.
think there are some incentives for him to further push crypto in the future. Let's see how that evolves. I personally like the base idea here that I have is like no matter who wins, like crypto will benefit from better regulations. And this actually is like part of a new thesis I'm currently developing. Um, like when you think about ton and all that stuff that I talked about in the past already, like for me, this aspect of like consumer crypto gets more and more interesting. Like crypto then also published like a video about that, like I think a couple of days ago, and I was just thinking like, okay, he basically says what I'm thinking. So that consumer apps in crypto will be a new narrative. I don't know. Have you already thought about that? Um,
It's logical, it's true, because people have been complaining about infrastructure being the only thing in town.
yeah,
And once we get highly scalable blockchains, I mean, we already have Solana, we will get a few others. And now it's true, it's time for us to have real value built on
yeah,
that. And we can see, I don't know exactly what's popping. I mean, you could say Telegram at that early sign, or like even Pum.fun and all that. But I mean, I don't know if it's exactly, it's not ready yet. Or like Deepin, honestly, Deepin is probably the most like interesting one
yeah,
because you already have like Ilium covering like some services. I mean, they have some partnerships. People actually use it for real. So I don't know. I mean, it's true. It's still early, but you can see some big apps that are fully crypto or even like hybrid.
yeah.
It's true. It's been a long time for me. Like I've been almost retired, but it it's true. We all know it's like a normal cycle. Like
Yeah,
you get the base layer and then you build things on top. So logically, we should have interesting apps coming over like the next few years.
yeah.
I don't know what's the most likely for you. Like maybe some games. Honestly, I would see some games and stuff like that.
Yeah, I just like try to make sense of it. And what I did is like I just down like looked at the most downloaded apps in the App Store and just like categorized them. And one like the biggest category is social media. And like I think like Degen pumped like crazy.
Yeah,
So after a massive dump, this is also something you have to add. So Degen and Farcast are looking interesting. Open Social, like I don't know if you ever heard about it, but it's basically the decentralized social media playground of the East, and you can build apps, social media apps basically on it, and use the user base of Open Social, and basic don't have the struggle of the network effect that you need people, so other people are coming, so you can basically use the people who are already in Open Social. So long story short, it's basically an everything app for the social media space, and so you already have adoption over there in these areas, social media, then games, as you said. But for me, like games is so hard to understand which one will be the next big thing. Like I
well,
I don't know
well, yeah,
about
yeah,
you.
yeah. No, it's true. It's difficult. No, I was saying games because I don't know if you know Off the Grid is the name of an upcoming game, and they're gonna launch on consoles like actually Xbox, PlayStation,
Ah, crazy.
and they raised 100 million in
Yeah,
the last few years. So I mean, it's massive, massive one. I think they use AVAX as the blockchain. And so this one seems like it's actually significant. We'll see how it goes. I mean, I was also very bullish on like Parallel.
yeah,
They are building something special that's spreading for real. So I see that, yeah, you just have to follow like each of them. But yeah, I mean, it's never easy to predict what's going to work. It's more about you see something growing and you predict that it's going to keep growing or.
Yeah.
it's so cool that it's going to be viral. But you know, it's whatever. To us, it's more about, especially these days, blockchain being successful than us
Yeah.
being able to bet on the right one. I mean, it's positive for the space as a
Yeah,
whole.
exactly. Yeah, for me, like when I think about gaming, I would much rather bet on the blockchain where all the
Mhm.
games are going to get built on and played on.
Mhm.
So for gaming, like of course you can go the high beta route, but like I personally prefer when it comes to games because they're so unpredictable, um,
Sure.
to just go with infrastructure. Like Prime was still is an interesting one in my opinion. Like with parallel, like I think you basically named it. So for me, that was an interesting one, and also with the AI component.
Yeah.
And yeah, so games, yeah, of course, 100%. Let's see, like also, like if you think about Hamster Combat, which just launched, like I think 150 million new users who got onboarded to crypto. So I think it's massive, even if it's just a bunch of like people with an airdrop who just want to cash out like their $5.
Yeah.
Um, but I still think that games are a very good way to onboard people to crypto. And on
Yeah,
which
also
blockchain
all the
did it
DeFi
launch?
stuff like stable coins, and anyways, we could, like, everybody knows exactly
Yeah,
what it's gonna be like,
yeah,
but it's true, we cannot know which one, when, all that. But yeah, it's
exactly.
coming, it's coming, hopefully.
Yeah, 100%. And the other like category of consumer apps that are getting downloaded are like utility apps, stuff like Chrome. This is boring, but also stuff like Cash App. And so you basically look at crypto and you have just a very efficient system for doing payments in whatever like way or imaginable way. So I think that as soon as we see more regulations for crypto, we could also see more apps actually being built for stuff like this and not getting punished by Apple for crypto transfers in the back end. So when we have more regulations for crypto, I think this could be a huge wave and could be very interesting, like to place your bets over there. You also talked about helium. I also looked into it. It's crazy. Like DeFi is also another thing that is
Yeah, actually, sorry to cut you. There is a little, like, I mean, people can check it out themselves, but there is a network that's called Peak, like PEAQ,
yeah.
and it's a
Ah,
DP
yeah.
network, whatever, and they have to launch a token next month. And apparently they have a bunch of partners, they have a bunch of, basically activity. So I mean, it's not super interesting to me these days to trade new tokens, but I feel like this one has potential since it's exactly in that category of DP. It seems to have already a good traction. So if it launches at a reasonable market cap, I mean, I think that's a good buy. Then of course you have to check tokenomics, how it's going to launch, if you have an airdrop, etc. But I felt like it's a good bet for, like, a catch up. Just since it's the new shiny deep in token, I think it has legs if the market, pumps.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'll follow this one and potentially talk about it later. But yeah, so
Peak, yeah. Yeah, I heard a lot about it. Like
yeah, they
we
did a coin
can
list ICO,
yeah.
and now they're gonna launch properly. So interesting, interesting.
Peak, what are they doing?
Sorry,
What exactly are they doing?
I think it's a layer one for DeepIn.
Layer one for oh okay. Specialized layer one for deep. All right. This
Yeah,
is
yeah. I believe. Let me check because I don't want to be saying random stuff here.
yeah. Should have
But yeah,
peak.
exactly that. Exactly that. Yeah, DeepIn and machines. So it seems pretty serious. I mean, they have some big partners like working with like Samsung and stuff like that. I mean, it could be a meme. Sometimes it is, but I mean, looking at everything they're doing, it seems like it's a real thing, and they might already have a lot of usage. I need to check exactly the details, but to me, that's a good bet as a deep in token. We'll
And
see.
deep
We'll see.
yeah, I think like for deepen you can if you are unsure like what you want to do, like I think if you just buy helium, you're good. And then you have stuff like Peak. This could be interesting. I think on Solana, a lot of deep end stuff is actually happening. There, Hive Map or something like that was the name of the ones who like
Let me
catch
check.
all the mapping data. So yeah, I also think DeepN has a lot of potential for like being this user or consumer stuff. Like I had like an article about Peak somewhere, which I wanted to use.
That's
Yeah.
it. To be fair, I mean, maybe last comment on like narratives and categories. I don't know. For me, it's difficult because I'm now fully in Soul because I want something safe. I don't want to be chasing really big returns. But it's definitely, we felt it last week. Now it feels like alts are waking up. And a lot of them got so wrecked from this consolidation that you have some really good buys. I don't know, I'm not going to say any, but some, I don't know, like the classic ones, some VC bags, some layer ones. So yeah, you could like swing those, and if BTC goes to 100K, some of them are going to run 2, 3x. So you have to find just the right ones. Memes, of course, like still the rock stars of this cycle.
And AI.
And for me, it's getting a bit like 2D gen.
The valuations of the meme space is crazy.
Yeah. I mean, it's always what a crazy market.
Yeah.
But
But yeah,
yes, you can find some higher returns for a higher risk if you want to go that route. But it's true the market is not very inspiring right now, but it can turn around pretty fast. And with macro, it's looking quite good for a real reversal for once.
yeah, I have checked like the unemployment rates and the forecast and stuff like this. So the jobless claims, the sheer amount of jobless claims is higher, I think, than or could be higher than expected. But yeah, let's see. Like for me, macro indicators are like what influences crypto short term. Like if tomorrow the unemployment rate is bad, like this could lead to a brutal like cut in my opinion. I don't know. Like we both are macro geniuses level 0. So, when I look at macro right now, I just get confused actually. Like for me, when I look at macro, it's mostly like just to understand if liquidity is entering the system. And as you said in the beginning, like you have quantitative easing all over the places, and potentially a weight cutting cycle,
Oh no,
which
it's definitely on. Like it started in the US. They're gonna have to cut more, and so yeah, it's definitely, and also yeah, they can even stimulate. But so far, just they're gonna like reduce the pressure they put on the markets with the rates. So no, honestly, it's looking good in the end. If you think about it, Bitcoin is already quite high for where we are in the business cycle. So
100%.
it's true, it could get very silly if we get all the right components like easing Trump, etc. So, anyways, yeah, we'll see, man.
Yeah, compared to what's going on, like Bitcoin
Not
held
too
its
bad.
ground. So so this is already a good sign.
Mhm.
All right. So another topic that we can use as a small bridge to other topics. Um, I have some questions of the people inside my program because they have some burning questions for you that they wanted to get answered. 1 second. I don't know why it's not showing up. So the first one that I want to ask you is, what is your biggest learning this cycle?
Well, the first one that comes to mind is probably the most interesting, is that um, you should avoid hodling except majors. You cannot really keep anything for long. I mean, personally, I can talk about that. Like Prime is my biggest regret lately because it nuked 80%, something like that from March to now. I actually got rid of my bag because I just wanted to just simplify my life. I sold it a few days ago. So yeah, that way I'm fully sold. But yeah, for me, it's just what's striking is even the same for like memes. Your meme can be hot, run 10x, you keep it and it goes down and never comes back. Like think about all the memes we had since the beginning. Like some staying, like With and Pepe, but many were like flavor of the month. Even you have an archive for like 6 months and then it disappears. I mean, so for me, it's just be really, really aggressive when you have a trade, you keep it for a few months and then you leave. Even VC tokens, those are like ticking time bomb.
Yeah.
So that's the biggest learning for me. Last cycle, I felt like you could really, sit in a token and really capture a huge move. This cycle, I feel like it's much like shorter. They have a short life, and except Solana, ETH, like the big tokens are okay, but you have a lot of traps, especially if you go in like memes and risky stuff, or like in a narrative, specific narrative for a few months. So that's the biggest one for me. Yeah, maybe you should share one, and I'll try to have another one, maybe another
Yeah.
one.
Yeah, for me, basically, like the biggest learning I had in this cycle is to only play the plays with sites where you are very, very certain that they are good and leave all the other stuff on the side and ignore the noise, basically. I had like some opportunities this market, so this bullish, like in this bullish cycle where I knew that I am right. And if I would have just played those with sides, everything would have been like my performance would have been a lot better. And like often, like I have some people in my program like asking me after I made like a call that I like coin XYZ, after 1 week or so, if that coin is still interesting. But like the entry that I had was so much lower than they would have it right now. And then I'm like, oh, my head, like, oh fuck, the valuation now, like I can't say that it's still a good one. I like for me the upside is off. So only play the plays where you are 100% certain, but then play them with sides and everything else is noise. Ignore this. This is for my investing side.
I mean, no, for sure, for sure. We talked about it a lot, like high conviction bets.
Yeah.
That's the way. I mean, for most people, you can have a different, approach, but yes, being very precise and target a few big swings, it's the way to go.
Yeah.
No, something else I wanted to also express is oh no, I'm gonna forget live. My okay, well actually I lost my my alpha.
No worries.
Yes.
Everyone is crying now at
So
home.
important because the key to making millions and it's
Okay. All right.
no, it was nothing special, just like a little detail. But yeah, it's true. This cycle has been very challenging overall. I feel like it was easier to, especially since also we had 6 months of pain. So it's
Yeah.
not like we are talking with a lot of, battle scars and regrets from the last 6 months. Oh no, yeah, actually, I know. Okay, that's the way. So yeah, another thing is to be very fluid or like have no bias. The market is always right, and you don't choose what's gonna work. And I say that talking about memes because I used to be a guy who like hated memes. I could not touch them because to me it's just vapor. It's the most stupid thing you can trade. But look at this cycle, it's the best decision you could have made, just playing with and Pepe and all of those. So in the end, later on, I joined the train like a few months ago, but it took some effort to be like, well, I don't like them, but it's the best asset, so you have to trade them. So really like being open-minded and listening to what the market is telling you. If you see that a certain, like, I don't know, let's say there is a Chinese narrative, and you feel it's stupid. Well, I mean, if it's pumping every day and everybody's in love with it, you have to play the game. So that's really one where, in the end, what you like doesn't matter. It's mostly about what people like and what
Yeah.
the market wants.
The market is retarded.
Yes,
So,
and then, I mean, of course, there's always like maybe you can ignore some things
yeah.
if it's not your strongest like skill. But especially for me, memes, you cannot ignore them
Yeah.
because otherwise you're
100%.
gonna suffer. Like if you're still like a DeFi guy, I mean, you had a bad cycle, or even an
That
ETH guy.
happened.
If you're like ETH bull, oof,
Yeah.
oof.
Yeah, 100%. Like as an ETH bull, like I would say this was your worst cycle ever. Like I think even like the big ETH plays, I don't know even like I think most of them even lost value over the bull run. So yeah, you are maybe in the negative. But yeah, I personally even think like this is my other learning, like give your thesis time to play out. Like for example, the ETH bulls who are still waiting for ETF inflows to kick in. Um, I still think that thesis is somewhat valid, but if you are looking for short-term profit optimization, you should, like as you said, like put your ego aside and go into stuff that is hot because the crypto market is retarded and either you accept it and make money with it, or you say, I want to play my high IQ plays only and lose out on a lot of potential gains. So, yeah,
Yeah, even though it's true, like looking at the chart, like ETH is certainly gonna make a comeback later this cycle when people rotate from Bitcoin to alts.
yeah,
But still, yeah, overall, you definitely had a bad time being in ETH only.
yeah,
And
100%.
also, I mean, it's they have a big problem on many fronts. Like just
Yeah,
they're not innovating. It's really just not interesting to people to be in it. So yeah, they have to work on that. We'll see. I guess it's still fine. I mean, I use ETH mostly. That's
yeah,
the only almost only network I use. But still, from like an investment standpoint, it's boring. It's not sexy. So we'll
yeah,
see. We'll see in the future. Maybe it plays out better.
yeah, exactly. And like when you look at ETH, like I think they will have one big last run. And after that, I think it will not be that interesting to invest in ETH because, like, as an investor who just comes into the market, you look at the potential opportunities and you see Ethereum. Oh, that's interesting. Then you see Arbitrum. Oh, okay, it makes Ethereum better, so maybe I should buy this coin. Then you have like all the other layer two solutions.
So true. Yeah, it's
Um, yeah,
fragmenting everything.
exactly.
It felt like my only thought on that is maybe ETH has a future as like a settlement layer, as they said, like even like
Yeah,
BlackRock, etc. They want to use ETH because it's safe, it's proven,
yeah,
and then you can build like layer threes or whatever. There was just basically ETH is like the boring tech in the back, and then you have sexy new layer ones that
yeah,
are, I mean, not layer ones actually, but yeah, like kind of like Monad. I mean. I don't know exactly. No, they don't use ETH now. It's a standalone network.
yeah.
So yeah, I was just thinking about building on top of ETH, but ETH itself becomes kind of like Bitcoin, a bit just pet rock, you know.
Yeah, I think this is what's gonna happen. So, and when you look like at the stock market, people buy this stuff which what they are using and where they know that they are using it. Like no one the smart investors, the big guys buy stocks like Intel and stuff like this, but the sexy stuff is always what is hot, like AI, Nvidia. Then you have Apple. Everyone is using Apple. Everyone knows Apple and sees Apple every goddamn day. So they will buy Apple stocks, and they won't buy like the underlying tech companies who are creating like the chips and stuff like this. So I think it's gonna be pretty similar in crypto. That Ethereum will be like the high IQ play for these huge institutional investors. Um, Also to get control over the network in some way or another. Um, but the sexy stuff, as you said, will be like the layer two space, maybe the layer three space at one point. And this is where you can look for opportunities. But yeah, for me, Ethereum is interesting for this bull run, maybe because we only have like the Bitcoin ETF and the Ethereum ETF. But as soon as we see more ETFs for crypto coming out, I see less and less reasons why you should hold Ethereum. And like as you said, also the innovation is lagging. So yeah, a lot of struggles, a lot of problems.
Yeah, we'll see. It's true. I mean, it takes time. Whatever. You can also, you don't have to touch it. Like,
Yeah.
so do we have more questions, maybe?
Yes, we have more questions. So learnings, we had a couple of them. And then the next one, we already talked about trends and narratives. This is an interesting one. What advice would you give your younger self who is just getting started in crypto?
Maybe start. Go ahead.
Me, okay. Start with the basics. Don't overcomplicate it. Like, don't get into everything. Focus on one narrative, and don't try to be smart. Know where you are at, and know how much risk you can take. As a beginner, taking on more risk will lead to losses in 99% of the cases. Play it safe with the majors and understand market cycles first. Try to play the majors, and if you master that, you can start increasing the risk and slowly get into altcoins, but focus on not losing money and making money, and then also keeping the money.
Oh yeah, that's plastic. That's great advice.
Yeah.
No, to be fair, in my case, if it's like going back in the past, I feel like I did everything right at the beginning, at least, like learning as much as I could, locking myself in and just spending years just obsessed with it. It's like later on that I made mistake, like this cycle, for instance. But the first cycle was fine, like did very well, and I can't really see big mistakes. But yeah, honestly, if you get started, you have to learn as much as you can, follow the right people. I mean, over time, you're going to filter the scammers and the guys who have nothing to do with crypto. I mean, they don't know anything, like BitBoy and shit.
Yeah.
So yeah, no, just being curious, being obsessed, honestly, being obsessed with it. And if you put in the work, then you'll succeed. Of course, yeah, manage your risk and don't do stupid things. But in the end, I feel like it's a skill. It's a skill. It's a thing you have to master. So you just put in the hours, and then you'll find a way.
Yeah. I think crypto also has a lot to do with feelings. Like when you look at a specific project, like I just heard, like, I don't know which podcast it was, but one VC guy said that another VC invested into a coin because of a ticker. And as a, yeah, and as a beginner, you will not understand that, and it will take some time to develop an understanding of why that is a thing in crypto, and even the smart guys are doing it. So yeah, as you said, it's a skill, and also very different, like, to stock trading, at least for now, because the market is retarded.
Yeah, I mean, it's just the stock market on steroids, but overall, I feel like you have a lot of, it's the same, it's just humans, emotions, and yeah, the technology is a bit different, but it's very similar, honestly.
Yeah. All right, next question. How do you balance short-term trading opportunities with long-term holding strategies in a rapidly changing landscape?
It's a good one. Well, I feel like we talked about that before, but you have to separate time frames. Even better if you can separate also the wallets or like the exchanges, so that you have your long-term, I don't know, let's say Bitcoin holdings, and then you have a trading portfolio where you want to take a different approach. So to me, it's just, yeah, separating your two, or even just sticking to one also, maybe, because doing both is not that easy. But I mean, well, yeah, that's the thing. You have to know exactly what you're doing. It's easy to mix up, honestly. Even we get caught up in like the little movements, and you forget about the big picture.
Yeah.
But I believe, yeah, just if you separate and you know exactly what are you doing, if you're trading, you know it's a trade for like, let's say this month. So you have to be very clear about your intentions and why you're doing something. But it's true, like for me, it's different now because I feel like I like trading much more in this cycle. I mean, at the end of the cycle. So now hodling is not interesting anymore. But yeah, you have to find your balance. And also, as I said, separate have kind of like two personalities, like your long-term you and your short-term degen.
Yeah, agreed. It's
But then
it's
I
a
don't know what else. I don't know what else to say about this one.
no, I think that's actually is a good answer.
Mhm.
Like mm, these are two completely different investing styles or trading styles. So for me, like I would just like we had like a couple of trades which were short term in the beginning and developed into a long term
Also,
hold. So it's for me it's when I look at the market, I always try to understand how long do we have till we see like uncertainty in the market. Like let's say for me when I decide to do long-term stuff, I want to understand that there's certainty in the long run. So I bet on this certainty. Like let's say I know that the market will continue to regulate itself or gets regulated. So specific bets on areas that will go up through higher regulation are these long-term bets because of the certainty that this is gonna happen at one point.
Mhm.
And then you have like the short-term stuff where you say, okay, in the short term, AI is like going to go through the roof because ChatGPT 5 is going to launch. So yeah, this is maybe also something to keep in mind. Okay, you disagree. I see
No,
that.
no, 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 no. It's not even that. It's just that question is, I don't know, for some reason,
It's
I
it's a
felt like.
very vague. You can answer it.
But no, no, no. Honestly, it's we did what we could. It's pretty clear. But I understand exactly why it's saying that, and I got tricked by it in the past.
Yeah,
Just yeah, you get so caught up in the trading, like in day by day, that you forget about the rest, and you can get mixed up. And then, as you said, sometimes you have a low trade and you keep it longer, and it's difficult. But I feel like it's really about know what you want. For instance, personally now I want to long. I'm actually longing Solana on leverage, like low leverage, just to try to juice a bit more returns. And I know that I want to keep it for like, well, let's say 2 3 months. Ideally, it's possible that I sell it earlier, but that's my time frame. So that's a trade, and then I could have longer hodl, like longer a real portfolio that I don't touch and that I want to keep, let's say, a year. So it's well defined in my mind. What am I trying to achieve for each? So I guess that's just the way. It's really simple in the way.
clear the purpose.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So I don't have more questions. Do we have more questions on the last episode?
No, no, no. It was just kind comments.
I can't go.
Those.
That's nice.
But yeah, really, I don't know. Well, you focus on the business a lot. In my case, I didn't really follow the market, like just looking a bit every day. And I feel like it's quite boring these days.
Yeah, it is. Like there are some opportunities like EGP. This was nice because
Mhm.
like the valuation dropped underneath like the valuation that they raised at. And usually when you see that big of a
Yes.
GPL and other good fundamental indicators.
That's alpha. That's alpha. It's true.
Yeah,
Usually that's a trade. It doesn't stay there for long. I mean,
yeah,
it's a good project or like hyped.
yeah. Especially in the beginning, like if there are a lot of incentives for the team to push back the price. So yeah, this was one very easy trade that I took. What else? There's nothing really much. Like there's the eigenlayer. What do you think about eigenlayer, the token itself? Have you looked into it?
No, let me check the valuations. because I
It launched
saw a
like,
lot of backlash from people because it's normal. It's another VC,
yeah,
6 billion FDV. I mean, it's useful. It's useful. It's not complete garbage, but it's a bit unclear. Are they gonna get adoption? Is it really, really key? So to me, I don't know. I don't have a real view. I would need to check the unlocks and everything, but to me, I don't know. That's not a tradable token. Like it's already 6 billion FDV. Like it has a bit of juice because it's new,
yeah.
and also usually insiders and they have an incentive to push it. But overall, it's not something I'm really excited about.
Yeah, the technology itself is very interesting. Like
Mm,
it's out of that perspective, like fundamentally it makes sense. Like the project makes sense. Buying
yeah.
the token, I don't know about that. Let me quickly check one thing I wanted
Oh,
to.
also, it's true. I saw a comment. I don't know who said that. I think it was Paul to Paulie. That's a very dear follow of mine. And yeah, he just said like it's possible that it goes bad for
Yeah,
the token because a lot of funds are full ETH bull. They invested a lot in Eigenlayer, and so they're gonna sell the staking. They're gonna sell everything to kind of like repair the damage of being a ETH bull. So I mean, it's true that that could be a thing since Eigenlayer is so linked to ETH, and ETH has been shit this year. It could contaminate and be a bad token to trade or to hodl. I mean, it makes sense to me. Like, yeah, it's you have to think about incentives of investors and are they doing great or not? Do they have to
yeah,
sell? And because we saw that with TIA, a lot of investors have been selling the staking rewards. Even I don't know what they're doing, but like OTC and all that. So there is a lot of under the hood. The participants, early ones are exiting, so it's not good for the project for sure.
yeah. But I think for tier they are also up a lot, right? I think they are up like
Oh man, like
100x or something like that.
the seed was. I mean, of course, you have to have the foresight predict
Yeah.
that, but yeah, like the seed was ridiculous. Like it's up at least 100x, at least.
I think 100 to 200x, something like that.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah, easy.
yeah, it's crazy. Like,
Yeah, that was beautiful.
yeah. And we are retail investors. We are on the other
Well,
side.
to be fair, the seed was small and it was like 3 years ago. So honestly, to invest in Celestia at that time, like you had to be deep in crypto and understand the future and or like get lucky also if you write a lot of checks. But no, it was not an easy one.
I mean, like I would say most of the VCs who are in the seed space act with a spray and pray approach, kind of.
Yeah, there is some of that for sure. Also, they have so much capital that they do
Yeah.
need to allocate. But yeah, for sure, they get lucky sometimes, and sometimes
Yeah.
they also get crazy deals that we cannot access.
I heard of someone who invested into Axie Infinity in the seed
Mm.
stage, and they made, I don't know how much. It was also something like 220. Ah, no, even more. It was
Yeah,
over a
probably more.
thousand X.
Probably
It
more.
was
Yeah,
so much.
yeah, yeah.
Uh,
I mean,
so
it's true if you catch like even you have Binance. Like if you invested in Binance, man, that was
yeah,
the seed of the century.
yeah.
So
Also,
yeah, it's true. It's a bit we'll see.
yeah.
If it can evolve, but yeah, like the VC game, it's still gonna be a thing.
Yeah, I think like VCs, like in general, what do you think about VC coins right now? Like the market was kind of shifting towards a more positive sentiment for it, but
Yeah,
uh, do
exactly.
you also see that? Like
Mhm.
that this will continue, or would you say this is a short-term thing?
Yeah, yeah, because if Bitcoin is supportive, then there is room for all the alts to go. And
Yeah,
since most of them have a low float, it's quite easy to pump them. And also the investors, like everybody has an incentive to push them before they unlock next year. I think next year is going to be a very, very heavy year for unlocks.
yeah,
It's already, you have a lot of pressure from like as of today, but it's going to be even crazier. I mean, I know personally I have an investment that's going to be vesting, I mean, unlocking on next year. So yeah, that's
yeah.
exactly that. So yes, I think yeah, there is a window for them to run for sure. If
But it's
Bitcoin can push, yeah.
yeah. Let's see. Like I think it's a short-term thing, maybe till the end of the year. And like you said, like next year you will have so many unlocks, people will get sick of holding these VC tokens while like
Exactly.
the more brain dead stuff is pumping much more.
I don't know if it's clear, but I know Ondo was a big one
In
early
January, I think, right?
year. I mean, all of them are gonna just
Yeah, this,
unload for real.
yeah, so
God damn, they say they have like there is 50 million of unlocks per day across like Solana, WorldCoin, Tao, etc.
yeah, like
Crazy.
WorldCoin is like the most. It's so crazy. Like when you look at, is the FTV still so high? Last time I checked, it was so crazy for
Which one? Ah,
WorldCoin.
WorldCoin.
Yeah,
No, it got wrecked very seriously.
but still, it's at 15
Wow,
billion.
15, yeah.
It's such a shit coin. It's
Yeah, it
so
went
crazy.
up to like 100 or something, maybe.
Yeah, and then
Almost.
it,
My God, that shot was juicy. I don't short, but oh my God.
yeah, and I still think that you can still short this.
Well,
Like
that's a bit
maybe,
dangerous now. That's a bit dangerous. As we said, I think if the market is positive, those can really run like
maybe true.
multiples.
A lot of people know WorldCoin, so yeah, maybe that's like a low IQ bet to buy out a WorldCoin, even if the fundamentals are not the best.
Well, for sure, I have no idea what's the best bet. But yeah, like stick to like AI memes, like the classic.
Yeah,
What's been working so far? And yeah,
yeah,
the VC coins are candidates too, like especially like low float, kind of, able to really move. I mean, yeah, you have to just select what you like exactly. But well, it's not our job to give tickers now. I'm a bit
the
not in sync with that.
we are not in the chill mood today, so
No, it's a
maybe
peak network deep in. I believe in this one. If the valuation is okay, like I think it's a trade.
yeah. Yeah, I also had like a lot of positive stuff about them. Also, it's a layer one,
And
it's
then
an
yeah, I mean, I have
infrastructure.
no idea if people are following like what's coming up. I hope we get some new projects that are interesting. I mean, they have to launch fucking Berachain,
Yeah,
Monad testnet, a few things like that, even though it's not going to be token. But I mean, actually, there is. Let me check because I know. That's also something. I mean, it's not big alpha, but I've been using now. I mean, tracking at least the OTC platforms for seed rounds, like private rounds. There is one called Second Lane,
yeah, I
and
saw
so
that.
people post like, I'm selling this, I'm buying this, and so you can see a bit what's going on. And sometimes you see like Gonzilla.
Yeah,
I see that and it's the maker of the grid, that game. So I know the token is coming then if someone is trying to sell it OTC already. So yeah, you can have a little bit. Also, it helps to see like if the investors are trying to unload the vested tokens.
also they have a lot of followers on social media already.
Yeah.
Second Life, isn't that
Second lane, yeah, second lane.
a second lane? Oh, all right, so I looked at the wrong one.
And also there
Second
is
lane.
another one that's actually I've been in talking with them. Like it's Stix, Stix. Yeah, Stix.co. You can find them on Twitter, and it's like also a platform to trade OTC, so like locked tokens and things like this.
Yeah,
Yeah, uh, Stixco. Anyway, so yeah, you can look at that. It's always useful, and
I
you can get a little
understand.
bit some alpha from there.
That's also interesting.
Yeah.
Look at the OTC market to understand what's going on and understand which coins. But like, would you say that OTC deals for these kinds of projects, like when a lot of people want to sell those coins, isn't that bad because
Yeah,
they want to get rid of it?
I mean, well, in many ways,
I mean,
because
yeah,
well, it tells you that some people want to exit. So it's also like, well, I mean, I can even talk about myself, honestly. I don't really care at this point. But like, so I'm not going to name, but whatever. I have an investment that's locked, and I would like to sell it soon. So far, I cannot. It's not tradable, but it should be soon. And so, yeah, the fact is, like, if you have interest to sell right now, you know that when they get unlocked, they will sell for sure because they want to already find a way to get out before they get their tokens. So it's an indication. And also, yeah, it's true, like just sentiment too. Like if no one is selling, like you had those periods in history where, like, for example, people were loading up on Solana, locked Solana. And so it tells you that people are fighting to get some Solana wherever they can.
Yeah.
You know, usually, of course, they get a discount. So it's a good indication of like appetite. And if someone is trying, everybody is trying to exit already, it's a bad sign. It tells you that they will sell in the future if they cannot sell OTC, and also just sentiment is not positive. So yeah, it's definitely also, it can tell something about the period of the like cycle time of the market.
Yeah.
But overall, yeah, it's a little tell that something is going on if you have a lot of volume on one side.
Yeah, exactly. Like I wouldn't say that if one big VC is trying to sell that this means that the token is shit or that there's something going on. It could also be someone just locking in profit.
Yeah,
Uh,
exactly.
but if you see a lot of people trying to OTC their way out of the token, that is usually, I would say, not a good sign.
So no, but to be fair, it's not that transparent, but at
Yeah.
least you see a little bit of volume, you see some activity. But yeah, there is a lot of happening, like just in closed rooms.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a good one. I can let me try to find him. The founder of Styx is very vocal about things. So because obviously he's speaking with a lot of people. I mean, let me get his name. Because yeah, actually they have so much alpha because they know everything about what's going on in the OTC. Like people come to buy, to sell things. Let me see. I forgot his name. And yeah, I heard he was making some comments about like some new tokens. He was like, yeah, everybody trying to dump it OTC.
For really posting it? Oh, okay, that's interesting. All right,
uh,
this is
yeah,
alpha.
yeah, his name is. I mean, I can share my screen so I can show you people. So this is him. Yeah, Taran. And so he's the founder of Styx, as I said. And yeah, he was saying some spicy stuff like, where is it? I don't know. He was talking about Eigenlayer, I think. Yeah, yeah. So basically, yeah, he has a lot of insights on OTC because that's the job.
Yeah.
So really interesting. And if you have some low tokens, like that can be a way. Like this, they charge a small fee, but you know, it's part of the game.
I mean, yeah, OTC is like kind of interesting, but it's also very hard to play. Like, I think
Mm,
when you go into the OTC space, you really need to understand like how to value things, and
exactly.
crypto is so hard to value.
Yeah, that's
So
definitely that. But it's true. Like so far, I was speaking about on the sell side when you have a locked investment, but you can also make a very interesting bets. You know, because you get a discount. So
yeah,
let's say you're bullish on Solana. What happened a few months ago? You can buy Solana. It's locked for like 6 months, a year, and you get a 20-30% discount. If you're bullish Solana, you want to keep it, you get a nice little extra.
yeah,
So that's also a way to, but of course it's a bit more difficult. You have to make sure you don't get scammed on those OTC deals.
yeah,
So yeah, it's not that easy, but you know, for me it's both an interesting market and also you get some information,
yeah, of
you get a bit
course.
of information on what's going on in the background.
Yeah, like I would say OTC is interesting for people like us who know crypto in and
Mhm.
out, and
I mean,
also have
it's
sources.
it's a game of just being early, and then
Yeah,
usually people want to exit as soon as possible, and then you get fucked if you're like the last one
yeah,
in line,
exactly.
like retail buying the top of WorldCoin.
Yeah. And I'm very like I'm very sad for the people who bought WorldCoin at the top, thinking it's gonna be the currency of the future with extreme high inflation. But yeah, let's not talk about WorldCoin. All right. We talked about OTC deals. I haven't thought that we like ended at OTC deals when we started the podcast. All right.
It's just trying to find topics.
Yeah. So I would say this is a good good point of the podcast to tell the viewers to ask questions within the comments.
Yes, please do.
Should we, like, maybe we can also ask a question, like, should we prepare like one topic that we are going to talk about, like, for example, one specific project because it's fundamentally interesting, like helium, for example. And then we just like discuss about that and maybe deepen as a whole. I think this could be interesting. So we don't have to freestyle that much. Maybe just write in the comments what you guys think. Do you have a proposal for the viewers? What they could see in the future of us?
Yeah, it's better if it's interactive.
Yeah.
And yeah, since we didn't really study the market lately, it's more difficult to find interesting angles.
We can talk about life.
But yeah, so, I mean, I don't know. Since it's gonna be uploaded tonight. I'm just looking at BTC, like starting to look quite stable now. Personally, I think we might go to like 58, 57, but not lower.
Yeah,
So yeah, that's why personally I'm already, and I'll be longer if it goes lower. But I don't know. I feel like it's played out now. It's a weird time in the market. It's very weird.
Yeah, I think the unemployment rates tomorrow will decide.
Ah, true. Yeah, you did say that. It's true. It could be like a little block on the road.
Yeah, but let's see. Like, I think people already expect it to be kind of brutal. I tracked some of the layoffs. There were some, like the amount of layoffs compared to August to September are pretty much the same, at least like the official ones. So the numbers aren't that much higher. Like, I think they are even lower than from August to September. So if there is not any, like, if there is not like one huge layoff tomorrow morning, then I think we should be fine. But yeah, let's see. Also, the GDP was okay.
Yeah. That's again like our little macro takes.
Yeah, exactly.
No, it looks like in the end it's cutting rates while the economy is okay. So
yeah,
it should be quite positive for us.
Should be bullish. We should should see some upward movements. All right.
It's very high.
Do you have anything else that you want to add? Otherwise, we talk for 1 hour, 7 minutes.
It's been good to be back. But yes, it's true. It's funny. Like my last tweet was about just not being so money driven, and I feel like it's super. It's always. I mean, we have everybody has their own their own little life trajectory.
Yeah.
Like also you have periods, and it's interesting to me like now being so detached from crypto, and now it's no longer the main thing. But I think a lot of people in crypto. I mean, maybe it's because they're young. I think they like chase money so hard when in the end you don't need a lot of money to be like happy. You just need, I mean, we all know it, like you need great friends, a partner, have some hobbies, be active physically, mentally, stimulate yourself, or meditation or whatever, like have just some fun. But yeah, like I don't know, I feel like I was like that for a long time. Just I need more money, I need this, I need that. I mean, it never ends. And yeah, so I feel like people should prioritize happiness and health much more than just dollars.
I think like money won't be able to buy you all the healthcare in the world.
Also, yeah, it's true. It's if you can avoid to fuck up your sleep, become fat, and all that, or in the process of making it, it's better.
Yeah, 100%. Like it should be a priority no matter what you're aiming at.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, I mean, it's true. Like maybe lock in for the next few months, but then after the bull, everybody has to be healthy and happy.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, so but I think right now it's a good time to look in. So I would say
for sure, it's true. You should be paying attention now. But I mean, to be fair, also it doesn't mean like for me now it's much healthier. I believe to just work out, like sleep properly.
Yeah,
that's. I mean, it's easy to say now being rich and all that, but I feel like it's counterproductive to believe that you have to be in front of your screen 16 hours a day. Like
Yeah.
you're just gonna go insane, and also like it's gonna create some damage. I actually know that I really really got some consequences from just being stressed out, and I mean just it was like mostly hormones, but yeah, like I really got hit by the grind. You don't think you can have a crazy lifestyle like that for a long time and not pay some consequences. Like, yeah.
Yeah. Like one last question, then we can end it. Like, how many hours did you spend in front of the PC, like in your grind time?
You mean when I was really, well, I
Yeah.
mean, it was all day, yeah, like all day. So, I mean, yeah, like I was like maybe 14, 15, yeah, something like that. Honestly, I don't think I was like just showering and going to the bathroom, but otherwise I was online all the time.
Crazy, bro. That's
Mm.
actually like this 15 hours.
Well, I mean, yeah, I mean, even you, like these days, I believe, you wake up, you're online until you go to bed pretty much. Like,
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, for me, it's mostly like the only thing I do next to crypto and business is going into the gym.
that's
Yeah,
nice. It's fine, honestly, it's fine because you also have periods in your life where you have to push.
yeah,
So it's not a big deal, but yeah, at least be aware that it's not sustainable to be that much. For me, it's
100%.
insane now. It's like, I mean, well, now it's a bit up, but I had like weeks where I was online like maybe 2 hours a day, like 3 hours a day. I mean, at least working and then a bit
Yeah.
of entertainment at night. But it's insane. It switched completely, and it's nice to not think about crypto all day like this.
I think everyone needs that. Like after the bull run, like Jack and I also talked about
Oh
like
yeah, log off.
log off, don't do anything anymore. Like all the people who haven't made money with us can log off.
Oh,
And we can basically do like we will do some nice vacations. We can do some. I'm also looking forward to our trips.
yeah,
See,
or go surfing.
there we go surfing somewhere. Let's see where it takes us. All right.
Yeah.
So with that being said, should we end it here?
Yes.
Enough alpha for one day. Um, the next episodes will be a bit more structured. So please help us with that. So comment something
Some
on
questions.
what you want to hear from us. And depending on the depth of the questions, we might prepare something. And yeah, follow to stay updated. Follow Erebos on Twitter. I will link his channel underneath the video. And yeah, if you come from Erebos, I also have an Instagram, but I don't think that anyone on Twitter likes to see stuff from Instagram.
No, so yeah, you have a community, you have a lot of content, so that's useful for newcomers.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, if you're a newcomer, you can visit the link on my YouTube profile and check out the program I have. But yeah, if you are an intermediate, like, and if you would say you are on a similar level to us, then this is nothing for you. Maybe in the future, let's see what comes. But as a beginner, it's definitely helpful. All right. So with that being said,
Pleasure, pleasure, pleasure. I liked it a lot.
yeah, me too.
See you next time.
See you next time. Bye bye.